Hey guys, Justin from Harvest Martial Arts, Harvest Concept here, and we are going to talk about video today. One thing that happened in March when the quarantine happened was that we needed to be prepared to launch into video teaching immediately because we had students to serve and we had to figure out how to teach them. The good thing is that we had been preparing ourselves, our curriculum. We were looking at developing an online program, and we got a heads up from our friends around the world that COVID was coming and we were going to have to prepare in some different ways for it. So our initial tactic for getting ahead of the curve was to figure out video and how to teach on video. We started by doing Facebook Live, filming ourselves on videos and short little clips and trying to upload them to Facebook or YouTube, and we were discovering issues there, mainly that we weren't able to converse. And so, like the rest of the world, we jumped onto Zoom. And so we quickly found Zoom to be a platform that we could function very well on, and we were able to service our students very well on. The issues were that outside it was okay, inside we were in a very confined space, and it was hard to teach because we like to move around a whole lot as martial artists. Right now, this camera is a very straight on, me talking to the camera point of view. So this is great for me talking and teaching, but you don't want to learn martial arts from me where you can only see my shoulders and my head. So what I needed to do is I needed to create space. And so that's where the wide angle lens came in. And wide angle lens was a big game changer for us because all of a sudden small space became big space. I have movement around, you can see more of my torso. And if I step back away from the camera, you can see my whole body. This is with the lens on. Now, quickly I'll take this off. You can see how confined this space is. This is not a good teaching environment all of a sudden again. So here we go, back with lens on. And you can see the comparison of me being able to move around and teach. And again, this isn't optimal for me to teach a whole class out of, but just for the example of showing how you can see my entire body during this time. The technology, the equipment was our first tactic. And so we wanted to grow in steps and use what we had. We also learned really quickly that we needed iPads to function on Zoom because they were the easiest for us to move around, be outside with. We can link them to our cell phones for broadband or for Wi-Fi, and so that we could talk or teach through the internet on Zoom. Now, I'm going to bring this over here so you can see what's going on here. This is my iPad video setup, and so this is my Zoom setup right here. Lens, iPad 7th generation, magnetic back, and Amazon Basics tripod. So this setup here is a very cheap setup, and you know, it's great for functioning in the environment around the house. I would not say that the tripod and the iPod mount are made for rugged use of hiking around and doing a lot of traveling around, but it's great for around the house, lightweight with the iPad. iPads aren't heavy. The next part of this is this Zenvo lens. So this is the wide angle lens. It also unscrews, see here, and becomes a macro lens. So this would be like close-up stuff. I don't use that. I really just use the wide angle lens. But I just love the ease of how it goes onto the iPad. You can put this on your iPhone also, or any other tablet or cell phone, whether you're Droid or Droid or Mac. This setup right here really helped us to get through this quarantine time, and it's allowed us to teach martial arts classes again in an enclosed environment. This would be great for teachers who are teaching at home still or in the classroom, but they want that wider angle view without the camera getting too far away. Airpods were a huge hit for us because it allowed us to bring our voice level down. Teaching online wears your voice out because you're constantly talking and enunciating, and we don't have the student interaction like we do in the classroom. We don't allow our students to talk quite as much. We don't have the ability to let them self-work, and we're constantly teaching, and so your voice gets worn out. So allowing that microphone to be right near your face is a huge help, especially if the camera has to be back away from you. So you're talking louder to make sure your voice is heard on the camera. Number two, it puts your students right in your ear so that when they're trying to communicate with you, you can get right back to them. And so I found that to be difficult, and I was constantly saying, on Zoom as people were breaking up a little bit or their equipment wasn't as good. So AirPods, number two. So just to wrap up, start off small. Build your equipment package as you go, as you figure out what you need. Because starting off with buying a camera, buying microphones, that's just going to spend a lot of money, and you might buy more than what you need. And so you can start off, especially in the Zoom platform, using the wide-angle lens, using an iPad 7th generation, AirPods, tripod stand, and iPad mount. I'm going to put all these links in the bio. You can follow them or in the video right below. You can follow those links. You can go to Amazon. You can see what we're using and use it, because this is an effective solution to a problem without breaking the bank and spending too much money right off the bat. Thank you guys for everything. Talk to you soon.